Nintendo. Yeah!
Welcome to the Nintopics podcast. It is Friday as of the moment of this recording. For those of you listening, it's Friday night. We are always live every Friday night, so come check us out. We're here with the trio. I call this the podcast, the trio of the Triforce, the Triforce trio, starting with the Queen of Hyrule, Joycie. How are you, Joycie? What's going on? Been this week? What's going on?
It's been a week. It's definitely one for the books.
Been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. I'm glad it's over. That's all I have to say. I'm just glad it's over.
Have you played any games? Have you had time to jump into any games?
Only Splatoon 3 specifically. And of course that's like prelude to my hype for Splatoon Raiders that I am getting. So yeah. But that's what I love about Splatoon, kind of jump in and out, especially when you're doing stuff around the house and everything. So yeah, it's just been crazy busy, and I've been working a lot.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And I'm glad you made it to the weekend. We're here. You made it, Joycie. You made it to the weekend. And that's what we're here to celebrate. If you're here with us, bring your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, whatever. You made it to the weekend. We're at the Nintopics podcast. And we're here with Paul Gale, the Force, the countdown guy, historian. I think he's bigger than Batman right now because he has so many things in his belt. How you doing, Paul?
Pretty good. It's been a fun week. Had some good gaming history videos. Punched a rattlesnake in the face. Pretty exciting. Did a new voice acting set when I went to In-N-Out, and it was an Arnold Schwarzenegger ordering a bunch of food, and it was pretty funny. I liked that. That turned out well. And here we are, Played a little bit of Tetris 99. That's about it, gaming-wise, unfortunately. I want to hop back into Resident Evil Village, but I just haven't committed to, the time for it yet,
The weekend.
Yeah, we got to go back to... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got to go back to that punching the rattlesnake in a minute, but I need to go back and highlight Zelda Player 85. Gifted 5 memberships on Odyssey. Thank you so much, Zelda Player 85. You are awesome. Thank you for the support. High five to you. And we got the hearts, the high five and everything. And I appreciate your support. And welcome everyone to join because of Zelda Player 85. I hope perks and emojis and stuff like that. And I have an unboxing I'm working on for all the members, something exclusive, something brand new, not existent in the US, and it's so fun. So I can't wait to show you guys. All right, so let's go ahead back to that. What, Paul? You punched what?
I punched a rattlesnake in the face. Rattlesnake was
a real
rattlesnake. I
embraced him in the face.
I embraced my inner Chuck Norris because I was out there. You can see it. It's in my gaming history short for Super Smash Brothers, the original for Nintendo 64. A rattlesnake was approaching me, and he was in my shot. And I punched him in the face, and he retreated, and I continued filming my video. Okay, that was mostly true, but what actually happened was I was out there in nature filming my Super Smash Brothers N64 video. And I was Mario, I was Donkey Kong, I was Pikachu, I was Yoshi. I was doing the you and me and you, no matter how. I'll stop singing so you don't get copyrighted. But I was singing the song. And then it came to the end of the video, which at the end of the real commercial, it's Donkey Kong being his head spun out. And I'm recording myself, as I'm getting into position. and I'm squatting down, and I'm like, oh snap, that's a rattlesnake right there underneath the rock. And I'm like, that's where I was going to lie down, which was to replicate the shot from the commercial. So I kept recording, and I was like, let me scoot over to this side of the rock, put my phone in the tripod, and record it. However, you could still see I'm like 4 feet away, because you could see the snake in the bottom left-hand corner of my commercial shot of my gaming history short. But in my actual 16:9 video, I decided, let me do a little behind the scenes. By the way, y'all see what this is? There you can see like how big that dude was, or dudette, and how close it was. Like, whoo, yeah. I'm always observant in my environments. I look out for glass. I look out for anything that could be a nail or spider or scorpion, or, that's that. Even in my own backyard, I'm like looking for things, but especially if I go out there to shoot, you don't know what's in the environment. And in this particular place, there are signs all over, says caution, rattlesnakes. I'm like, yep, I've never seen one in the last, some odd years, but last weekend one happened. But no, I did not actually punch it, but that's kind of
that's pretty cool.
The joke, Yeah.
And it's not because you couldn't punch it.
That's cool.
It's because that's just not who Paul is.
I wouldn't want to kill it, That's
right.
I'm in his neighborhood. I'm in their spot. Yeah.
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 And when you brought it up though, just kind of went over it and just kept talking. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I just kind of casually dropped the rattlesnake.
Rip Chuck. All right, thank you guys for sharing. My friends, yeah, it's been a crazy week for me as well. You guys know that it's been a week. It's been a roller coaster of a week. I'm right now in a closet. This is where I can go live in the house. The only place you can go live. I only kind of have access to it on this particular time so far, Friday nights. Because of course you cannot take a closet away from my wife. It's a thing. This is her me space. It's a walk-in closet, vanity and whatever. It's her own little place, and I'm invading it. I'm invading her space on the weekends to film the podcast. And so for now, my resources are limited to make videos and stuff like that. So I try to do what I can here and there. The live streams on the weekdays are kind of on pause just because of it. You guys know, I've seen so many messages, guys. I know you miss the live streams. I miss you guys too. Working hard to see if I can get something going or make something up. Maybe go to the car. I don't drive. I'm blind. Stay in the car, pretend to drive, and then live stream from there. Maybe. Or go to a park, take out my phone, live stream from there. I have a MacBook Air I just purchased to see if I could do editing outside, like while I'm in sitting in the kitchen or something like that. You guys already seen my videos from the kitchen, the kitchen table. And so we'll figure something out. Yeah, it's been a little discouraging just because of I'm out of my element. I feel like I'm out of my element. It's transitional. The new house is being built. It's gonna be done in August. I'm having the studio done in the backyard. Not part of the house, and it's gonna be done also the same week. So I'll be able to move into the studio as soon as I move into the house. They're building have you heard of a she shed? What a she shed is, right?
Yeah,
that's what they call it, a she shed. Yeah, so it's not gonna be a he shed, she shed. It's gonna be a he shed because I'm a he shed or a YouTube shed, and so it's gonna be quite about 14 by 14 size. I want something pretty ample, so that I can put the set in there. We're installing a video wall. We're installing an anchor desk. You know what an anchor desk is? Like the news anchor desk with the little lighting and everything. It's gonna look very nice when it's all done.
Nice.
And that's where I want to do Indie Mania. Fly Paul over and Joycie over. We can have like a podcast maybe set up there and everything, like really cool. So the closest thing you can see right now is if you look at Kind of Funny Games. If you look at their setup, you can see that they're sitting on an anchor area, and you see the background with the video wall and everything, very nice. it's gonna be similar to that, but more Odyssey-ish, Nintendo-ish. And so once it's done, but the process that from now to then is what's difficult, right? Because you get discouraged, the channel goes down, up and down. But I vent with my audience, and I listen to me, and they have nothing but encouraging words, and I can't think of anywhere else to be. You guys are amazing. I've gotten already so many DMs from y'all. I on YouTube, on X, on Discord, and I just wanna say thank you guys, and thank you for sticking with me through this change. I promise you, it's gonna be crazy. Okay, I just bought a main domain, because I'm transitioning from Mike Odyssey to something bigger, and you guys are gonna see. I want to have Paul part of it and Joycie to be part of it. And I'll talk to them because they don't even know. I'll talk to them later on. But Indie Mania is a big thing coming up also very soon. July 3rd, we have a schedule. July 3rd, and next month is June, right? Am I seeing it right? Next month is June. Summer Game Fest is just about 5 weeks away. I could say like around 5 weeks away. That is insane. And so things are moving forward. Things are moving fast. And I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming. We got more for you guys later. But in the meantime, we got some 3 major stories. We got some Nintendo news. Paul, you want to go over those 3 major stories quickly? We got some Nintendo news. So just a little quick roundup.
Like starting off with the new pricing tier, perhaps?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start there. Starting this week with pre-orders for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Nintendo is officially implementing a new pricing strategy for Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives. Digital versions of major titles will now be priced $10 lower than their physical counterparts. So $60 digital, $70 physical, for instance. Nintendo cited rising manufacturing and distribution costs for cartridges as the primary reason for the shift, marking a significant departure from their long-standing price parity policy. I'm a fan of this. I don't know about you two, but this is the open transparency that I was saying back when the whole thing started coming up of like game key cards and yada, yada, yada. I was like, dude, if companies were just open and honest, like, hey, folks, cartridges cost a little bit more to make. They're not the cheapest. We came from a disc generation. Now we're doing this. So if y'all don't mind, we're going to be charging this much. But for the cartridges, you don't have to eat up your storage space, but it's going to be $10 more. You do what you want to do. All right, fine. And there you go. So easy breezy. This is nice. And what I like is it's not like, okay, it's 70, 80. No, it's 70. Oh, it's 60. So that means I don't think we're going to get 80, 90. We're going to get 80, 70. So they're not making physical more. They're making digital less. Because you could look at it as the other way around, but that's not the case. I don't know if you want to weigh in on that, or I could just move on to the second topic, or someone else wants to take the second topic, whatever. You want me to run with
the second topic?
All right, we'll keep rolling.
Yep.
There's some new, I would say, maybe you could say massive content updates for legacy hits. Nintendo is keeping the momentum on the original Nintendo Switch library with a wave of version 3 updates for titles like Animal Crossing New Horizons, for instance. It just recently got a 3.0.3 update on April 29th, which added a special 25th anniversary Leaf statue and fixed some critical bugs for players on both NS and NS2. And then the more recent one, a couple days ago, unexpectedly, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, that package, or Super Mario Galaxy 2 on its own specifically, received a 1.4.0 update. And that added a brand new story to the in-game storybook, likely to celebrate the franchise's ongoing 40th anniversary festivities. And in addition to that, fixed a couple of little weird graphical glitches, you could say, or just some visual oddities in some lighting, textures, and trees and such. So that's also pretty good. And I say now is as good a time as any to do that, because effectively now there's kind of a soft bundle going on. If you buy Nintendo Switch 2 and buy that Super Mario Galaxy Physical 1 and 2, you don't get it for $520. You get the whole package for $500, which effectively drops the system by $20 if you want to think of it like that, or the game by $20. So good for players that are new owners, especially people coming off the Super Mario Galaxy movie, to be like, bam, now they're experiencing the game better than they would otherwise. And the last thing is some pretty considerable third-party support from a major publisher, Square Enix, in Final Fantasy. During the latest fan festival, director Naoki Yoshida confirmed that Final Fantasy XIV Online is officially coming to Nintendo Switch 2 this August. The trending news this week focuses on technical details like the game will support Joy-Con 2 mouse controls, full keyboard, mouse setups when docked, and it should be at a 30 frames per second, which is what they're aiming. And that's solid for a game of that size with that many players online. And regarding like the payments setup, it's a little bit interesting. It will require a separate subscription, but you will not need Nintendo Switch Online for it. It's its own thing. And there will be a 50% cost reduction if you are an existing member of Final Fantasy XIV and play on other platforms to hop into the Nintendo Switch 2 online setup. So overall, not bad. And if I'm not mistaken, I forgot if it's 30 or 90, but there's like a 30 or 90-day free trial. Mm-hmm. So if you just play the game online and decide it's not for you, think of it like as a 30-day demo, right? We'll try to get that news throughout the podcast, whether it was 30 or 90, but that ain't bad. And that's kind of it for like a little news recap.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that roundup. Awesome. All right. And by the way, speaking of Final Fantasy, isn't Final Fantasy 9 Rebirth demo available on Switch 2?
Yeah. Yep. It's a lot of Final Fantasy this year.
So if you guys are interested in right, Final Fantasy Rebirth, that's the second one. The second part to the Final Fantasy remake. There are 3 parts. Third part hasn't come out yet. So Final Fantasy remake is already on Switch 2 if you want to purchase that. Rebirth is the second one that'll be out later this year, right? I think June or July. I can't remember when. But there's a demo right now available if you want to try Rebirth. Now the question is, Paul or Joycie, if you know, do we have to have played remake in order to get into Rebirth? Because I know it helps story wise, but I never kind of tried it, because I know I did play it on PS5, but do I have to play it on Switch all the way through in order to make it to Rebirth or can I play or am I good playing remake on PS5 and then jumping on Rebirth on Switch 2? How does that work?
If you've played remake on either system, you're good and ready to go for Rebirth, because it kind of picks up right where you left off in remake. If you didn't play remake on either system and are just hopping into Rebirth, the game does have some backstory stuff, which is pretty cool. Not to go into spoilers, but there will be some things that you will play in Rebirth that take place even before remake. So, and I think that was kind of intentional for a couple of reasons. One, tie in the story a little bit more, but 2, make it so that people that maybe see this new game in Rebirth but find it too daunting to be like, oh man, I don't want to get into it because I'm not going to have any clue what's going on. Well, here's a way that you could kind of see some of the stuff behind the scenes cleverly and then be experienced and have its own game. So I would say if you're interested at all in any of this, get remake. It goes on sale often enough. Play through remake. You'll have a great time, and then play Rebirth. But if you really think it's too much or it's too daunting or I don't have enough time, Well, I'd probably recommend Remake over Rebirth just because it's easier to get into. It's a little bit smaller of a game. But if you have FOMO because everyone's playing this new hot thing June 3rd, go ahead, play Rebirth, and you won't be too off if you're like, I don't know what's going on. They do a decent job in the beginning bringing it together, you know? Yeah.
They do. All right. Thank you for that, Paul. And Joycie, would you like to tell us about the games that are coming this May? We have a list of top 10 games that are coming in May.
Alrighty then. Excuse me. So during the last fan festival, director Naoki Yoshida confirmed that Final Fantasy Online is officially coming to Switch 2 this August. The trending news this week focuses on the technical details.
I think that already, Paul read it already.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I got an idea and I had to write it down.
the list was that.
My bad.
You good.
Okay. But we do have a game that I am excited about. On May 7th, Mixtape is dropping. Then on the 8th, Harvest Moon Winds of Anthos completion. Or it's the definitive edition of Harvest Moon. And May 12th, we have Indiana Jones. Complete. There's the delay, Mike. I found it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep going. All right. So we have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on May 12th. Also on May 12th, Call of the Elder Gods. May 14th, we have Outbound. May 15th, Thank Goodness You're Here. May 21st, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. May 21st, another one I'm interested in, Coffee Talk Tokyo. May 22nd, Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn. And on May 28th, we have Bluey's Quest for the Gold Pen. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a bonus one like right below it. Do you see it there?
See what right below it? Oh, Bubsby 4D coming May 2nd.
Bubsby making a return.
And Bubsby
May 22nd. So in 4D, how does that work? Like 4D.
I don't acknowledge it if it's not.
All right, thank you, Joycie, for that. Right? I mean, how can you not play a game as if it's not in 5D, right? It's like
exactly.
People, dimensions count. All right, so thank you, Joycie, for those top 10 roundup games. I hope you guys are looking forward to any of those top 10 games coming in the month of May. May the force be with you in a couple of days, right? Also, and let's go ahead and move into the topic for today. The big question that we're all asking. I know you guys are asking. Who, if you're listening, if you were asking in the chat, I know Paul has been asking this question all day to himself. Joycie can't stop asking this question also, right? Did Mario the plumber fix Nate the Hate Star Fox leak? Right? Because I mean, as Nintendo fans, we try to find an explanation why April came and went. And there was no sign of the fox, right? Not just any fox, the fox from the stars, right? The one with the R-wing, the one with the cool attitude that we found out that he has a really cool attitude, right? And so April has gone and come and let me do a quick recap for those of you unfamiliar with the with what's happening. Nate the Hate is a well, I could still say he's a credible leaker, right? To me, he's a credible leaker just because I remember back in June, back in January actually, and chat. I know you guys remember too. We Nate the Hate said we were having a Nintendo was shadow dropping the first ever trailer reveal for the Nintendo Switch 2 outside of a direct. It was going to be a trailer drop, just a trailer. everybody and their mama was like, nah, how can Nintendo do that? It's not gonna happen. Not in my house, and all that stuff, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. What if I do a 24-hour stream waiting for that trailer? And so I did do the 24-hour stream waiting for that trailer. The Thursday, I would say that the Wednesday. The Wednesday came and went. No trailer whatsoever, right? So like, okay. So we had a lot of fun. We had about 1,700 people on the live stream waiting for us. A whole bunch of people insulting, a whole bunch of insults and a whole bunch of trolls. But hey, we had fun. 1,700 people on the live stream. The next day, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I feel uneasy, right? So I wait till 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe 6:30, and I started to live stream again. Out of the blue. No, I did not announce it or anything like that. I started to live stream waiting for the Switch 2 trailer. Okay? Boom. 500, 600, 700 people came and just joined on that live stream. Maybe just to see if I was but the thing is that on that day, that very day, the trailer at 8 p.m., I think it was 8 p.m., the trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2, that trailer that made the Nintendo Switch 2 trailer, the Switch 2 official to the world, dropped.
It was in the
morning. And we caught it within seconds. It was early, it was very early in the morning, around 8 o'clock in the morning. And we caught the trailer at literally seconds within it dropping, and the chat went nuts. I remember the click, all the sound effects that it was making. We were like, no, this is it. I can't believe it. It's Switch 2. And we just experienced that. That was one of the best moments of my YouTube content creation career here. That little moment that I spent with you guys. I mean, we were like about 750 people watching live, and then the night before there was more people because but that itself, like, you know what, Nate, you've earned my respect. This is like the most random day ever for Nintendo to drop just a trailer for their next gen system. Nate the Hate. He doubled down on April. Did he make a mistake by doubling down on a certain date? Yeah. Should he just mention the game and stick to the game with no date? Maybe. But Nate the Hate previously set high expectations that April 2026 will be the month Nintendo finally pulls the curtain back from the Star Fox franchise. Since the month ended without a peep, the community it. Nate stands. He accepted the blame for hyping a specific window, calling it a mistake. However, he denied the theory that Nintendo fed him dummy info to catch leakers, which we heard this from Nintendo's been doing this for a long time, right? Nate from Nintendo Prime, buddy Nate, he brought this up to everybody's attention a while back, and that post went viral, so it picked up because we were waiting for them specifically. And Nintendo in the past, they did use a dummy leak to catch a leaker, and they specifically use Star Fox, which is crazy. They specifically use Star Fox as a dummy leak to catch leakers. And so with Star Fox, with Nate the Hate, we're talking about two Nates here, Nate the Hate and Nate Nintendo Prime. Nate the Hate mentioning Star Fox as a leak, and then Nate from Nintendo Prime reminding us that Nintendo did use Star Fox in the back end to, catch a leaker. They're probably doing this again. Then that's where everything went nuts. The content of the leak beyond Star Fox, he's still standing by his claims that the rest of 2026 will include a Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. This is beyond Star Fox, right? He still believes that Star Fox is a thing. It's coming. He says that other people have commented on this after he mentioned it, but you never know if those people are just piggybacking because of his credibility, right? Because it's easy for me to say, Nate Tate said it. Oh yeah, I heard my sources said. My sources said that that their buddy, their sisters, brothers, cousins, uncles, neighbors, dog, heard that there was a Star Fox coming. So if Nate said it, I have a source that said it too. Right? They're just piggybacking because of Nate's credibility. And if they get it right, they get it right, and they get the clout alongside. So who knows? But Nate the Hate said he still believes that Star Fox is on the way. He made a mistake by pinpointing a release period or reveal time. Aside from Star Fox, he still stands by his claims for the rest of 2026, which would include Zelda Ocarina of Time remake for late 2026. Let's see here. Fire Emblem's Fortune's Weave. This is not. I mean, this is an announced game. It has a 2026 on it, so this is really not a leak. It's more like Nintendo's going to continue to release that game. And then the 3D Mario for 2027, which also I believe that at this point in time, with how long is left in the year, Mario. A 3D Mario, with how Nintendo handles these games when it comes to reveal to release around 302 days, there's no way Nintendo will release a Mario this year. We might see it. We might see a teaser trailer, but they'll do like wins and waves. Pokemon wins and waves. They'll say 2027, right? But so far the biggest leak here is or the biggest rumor here. We can't call it a leak, right? The biggest rumor is the Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, which Nate stands behind, and he still stands behind the Star Fox, right? The Star Fox. Now, for the Nintopics crew, I'm sorry, Joycie. Joycie, how is your faith in Nate the Hate? Do you care about the leakers? Do you have, do you like, hey, he's a credible leaker, this hurts him, or how do you feel about this overall? Did he lose points or did he gain points?
No, he didn't lose points with me. Everybody needs to chill out. Okay. The man knew the day the Nintendo Switch 2 was being revealed. That's a big deal, guys. That's even bigger than getting games right. Of course, there's always that possibility that Nintendo changed at the last second. I kind of don't know how I feel about that. If you have a package and a marketing strategy or whatever that's ready to go, I don't know if they would change that quick, but maybe they did. Nate the Hate is not some new kid on the block. He's not known for lying, or purposely, deceiving or trying to just get everybody hyped just for the fun of it. So this one, and he still stands 10 toes down. He's like, the game exists. He said, I just shouldn't have put a time stamp on it. So he never should have told us end of April. He should have just said Star Fox is a real thing, and I don't know when it's coming, or I do know when it's coming, or I can't nail down a time or something like that. Just I know the game exists. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I definitely wouldn't have put a timestamp on it. I personally, and I think I've said this on probably our last 4 or 5 podcasts when we talked about this, I was skeptical from the jump. I'm like, they're just gonna bust out Star Fox out of nowhere. Okay, it's possible, why not? And then it was the ambitious Ocarina of Time remake, and I'm like, Nintendo, ambitious on a classic. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, because there's a great argument for why it exists and a great argument for why maybe it doesn't exist. And there's a good possibility that Nintendo isn't doing the ambitious part. Maybe it's someone else. I would love it if it was Monolith Soft. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Possible June direct. I really don't think we needed Nate the Hate to tell us that. If it wasn't coming, in spring, then summer's the next big guess. So I kind of have a little bit of I'm about 70% on that one. So more than half. I'm about 70% on that one. But it doesn't take out any of the fun for me. These are still fun things to talk about. Look how much we're all talking about Star Fox. When's the last time that happened? So now it's
every day of my life.
Well, of course, if you're Paul, if you're Paul every day of your life. But now there's so many more people, not just Paul, that are talking about this game. And since we've all seen the Mario movie, now it's on people's kind of in their subconscious and on their radar. So if something Star Fox does come later this year, there is a good chance there will be some interest for it. I do hope that Nintendo has something planned, because don't lose this momentum. Well, I don't even know if it's momentum's the best word, but don't lose this spotlight, because there's a little bit of a spotlight on Star Fox right now. Don't lose that. Keep people interested. Do something that has nothing to do with nothing. Just a nice picture of Star Fox on the Nintendo Today app, and let us just talk about it and speculate and wonder. It doesn't have to mean anything. He's a Nintendo IP, so why can't he just be on Nintendo Today, regardless if he has a game or not? You see what I mean? So I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I am still on the hype train. I've been on the hype train since the Switch 2 came out. I know good things are coming. So much third party is coming. I guess I'm just so unbothered by all this stuff. Like I said, it's not like other leakers where they kind of pop up on the scene out of nowhere, or they get a whole lot wrong, or you find out that they're not a real leaker with real connections. They're finding other devious ways, we'll say that, of getting this information, that sort of thing. Nate has proven time and time again, he's got real connections. He knows somebody who knows somebody that's reliable. So and since none of us really know who Nate is, for all we know, it's Numa's, English persona or something of that nature. That'd be wild if that was true. So y'all chill out. Okay, chill. We're still in the first year. Games are coming. Nintendo ain't this stupid. Now, at the end of the year, if nothing happens, I will retract that statement. I will say, okay, Nintendo's being really stupid right now. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Sherry. I spoke too fast.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord, for cherries.
Sherry.
They're great fruit. Good for your stomach digestion.
Paul, what do you think, Paul? What do you think, Paul? What's your take on the whole thing, the whole thing, nothing but the things will help you thing.
It's all good to me. If I was bothered by it, I would say, you know what? I'm going old school, and I'm only going to allow the modern conventions of following exactly Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Capcom, Konami, Activision, Ubisoft, etc. on their social media platforms, and not a single content creator, not a single other thing, to have it as old school as I can, and just a little bit of the news officially from the source, right? But that's not what I want. I like it all. I like the news. I like the rumors. I like your take, other content creators' takes. I like sharing my take. I like watching theorizing videos. I don't get bothered if there's a rumor that's called a rumor and it winds up not being true, because it still fuels my imagination of, well, what could be and what might eventually be. So I'm not bothered. I have been given things in the past, some of which wound up true, some of which didn't. I have narrowed down what I cover these days, because I have seen that, like, well, not everybody likes being told something, even if you're saying it's a rumor and it doesn't end up being true. And then you get blamed for being the middleman, and people don't quite understand that. I've also not shared stories before because I was like, I'm not that interested in it personally, or I don't think that's real, only for it to be accurate, to me then say, too bad I didn't run with that one because that would have definitely helped out. But whatever. I look at this, and there's so many different possible reasons why it wasn't shown. One, maybe Nintendo never did plan on talking about it in April. They had a different plan. And maybe just what he heard was from a this, and someone theorizing that April was likely told him April, and then he ran with April. But it wasn't this definitive thing from Nintendo in Japan that said, absolutely, this is the case, boom, boom, boom. So that's a possibility. Maybe they looked at it as April was our goal, but you know what? On second thought, we're going to wait because we're looking at the trajectory of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and it's not doing as well as we thought it would. So we're going to place more elegantly Star Fox and its debut trailer online at this point to give it a spike here. Or our algorithm shows that the movie is trending and faring well. Let's not jump the gun and use Fox. Let's wait till the movie comes out in Poland, comes out in Japan. Let's let Golden Week go by in Japan, and then use the momentum after the movie's been out for a week and a half in Japan to boom, do Star Fox, and it's going to be early May. Or maybe, hey, this is the last time we are allowing a leak to come out there and ruffle our feathers. We're not going to let it happen. We don't want there to be too much communication online from rumors that when we do decide to show it, which was going to be now, right? Like April 22nd or April 29th or whatever it is. We don't want there to be any conversation that comes back to us and some of the narrative to be on our day of glory and showing off Fox McCloud and stuff like that. For so many of the outlets from IGN and GameSpot and everybody else and MSNBC and whatever you have out there saying, so can you report, was this the game that was discussed in the rumors for the last couple of weeks? And you're like, no, we're just going to wait till time goes by. And we're going to let surprise be the element once again, which we thrive on, and not our surprise be ruined by being too close to this suggested rumor cycle of our game. So we're going to let it go a month or two. That's another possibility. You know what I mean? So like right there, those are a few different thoughts that I whipped up, some of which I had, before, and some just formulating a little bit more now. And then, like one of them maybe is, we want the leaker community to die down. So we're holding off on this one just for the heck of it. And yeah, it'll come when it comes. We're not in a rush. We don't need a game to boost sales immediately. And it'll be a December game, and maybe it was going to be a June game after all. Probably not that case.
Yeah.
Nintendo is not just some petty multi-billion heir. No, they're a massive billion-dollar company with hundreds of individuals around, right? Not just someone like, I'll show you. I'm going to make your reputation look bad and not show my game off. Probably not. It's a little bit more than that. Yeah. But I'm not bothered by it. And, I'm not saying, he was wrong. No. And to be fair, I don't know if his apology, Nate's that is on sharing his thought that it was April, or sharing that he heard it was April and that being incorrect, because those are two different things. I'm sorry, guys, that I got your hopes up. I thought it was going to be April, or hey guys, sorry that April wasn't it. That's what I heard. You don't have anything to be sorry about. Like, you're sharing what you got. It's all good. I still think Nintendo's got a strong timeline up ahead. For all we know, if they showed off next week, that would be 7 weeks between then and something like June 25th. That is pretty small timing. That's technically under 2 months. That's not even 8 weeks. It's literally 7 weeks. That's pretty small. That would be the smallest timeline. And I did like a post on X last week, and I found there's been some 2-month, 3-month, 4-month windows. And there was one 2-week window, technically, if you count Metroid Prime Remastered, but I kind of didn't count that. And then depending on whether you do or not, Mario Kart World, you could look at that one as 2 months if you count the April to June, but technically it was shown in January. So, right, that little 8-second clip. So January to June. So then it's back to 5. But I digress.
And they won the launch title.
Yeah, there was a launch title, and we first saw it in January, unless if you count the title of it, which would be April. But Nintendo could do a short window, or maybe not. Maybe it gets shown off in May, and it doesn't come out in June. Maybe it's July, August, October. Maybe it doesn't show up in May and it shows up in June at a direct proper. And it's, hey, this is a title that we're dropping in October. All right, whatever it is. I love video games. I love the news. We used to get a video game magazine a month and that's it. And like I said, if I truly wanted that, I would eliminate anything else that I could hear. No podcasts, no streaming, nobody's opinions, and just follow Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Capcom, Konami, Ubisoft, Activision, whatever, Sega on Instagram, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, MySpace, official channels, block everything else, and that's it. And then that would be a way of only getting the legit news, only watching directs, only watching showcases, only tuning in for a Summer Games Fest and a Video Games Live, and then you would still get plenty of gaming news, but it'd be a little bit more boring. But maybe that's what some people need to do. If it bothers you so much,
it'll be crickets if you're waiting for new information. So it'll be crickets for a long time until something new comes up, and then you rejoice for about a day or two, and then crickets again. So
have fun with all of it.
But yeah, I completely agree. Like I said, I had one of the best moments of our channel with one of the Nate's infos on that trailer drop, which was to me insane. Nobody was on that trailer drop but Nate. Nobody was on that trailer drop, and so I think that I don't think he has to apologize for that. But he does it because he's respectful and he values people's time, and say, I apologize. I should have not have pinpointed a release time frame, but the game does exist. And so I don't think this hurts his credibility too much, right? We still have to see. If the game doesn't come out this year or next year, then out there we'll then say, we'll question the validity of the source that gave them that information for
Kirby
Star Fox.
Robobot.
If we don't, same thing, right? Kirby Robot. Then we still have time for that. But so far, I think that I'm with Joycie. I'm like, and just Paul just mentioned it, and I've been talking about that on X as well. Release windows, reveal to release windows for new titles are normally at least for Mario is 302 days. Nintendo will never almost shadow drop a 3D Mario or give it a short release window unless it's a day one game for a system. They will, if they show the trailer today, it's gonna be, if it's outside a release window for a new system. Already we are outside a release window for Switch 2. The release games for Nintendo Switch 2 are gone. All right. The release window, I think, is like only the first 6 months of a system is the release window for the Nintendo Switch 2. Right now, we're about to celebrate the first anniversary of Nintendo Switch 2 next month in June 4th. So this is the very first year of Switch 2. We'll have a birthday podcast to celebrate the birthday and look back on Switch 2 once that time comes. But just think about it, the release window for Switch 2 is gone. It's done. So anything that Nintendo releases now will have a proper reveal to release. And like Joycie was mentioning, I was on board with that. Like, I don't think Nintendo would a game that hasn't been around for 10 years since Star Fox, what is it, Zero for the Wii U, right? Speaking of Star Fox Zero, let me see here if I can find that. I had it somewhere here. I had it. That's past tense. I had some gameplay for Star Fox Zero. But yeah, a game that hasn't been around for 10 years, maybe a little more on the Wii U. I don't think Nintendo is just gonna shadow drop from out of nowhere, right? Like an RKO from Randy Orton. If you are a WWE fan, Nintendo's not gonna do that. I think Nintendo's gonna do a proper reveal, some promotion. I think Star Fox as a game coming in with 10 years in between does warrant a kind of direct dedicated to that game, so that people can see, newcomers can see the game and learn from it and see how it plays, and like Paul said in a collab video back in the day, do a barrel roll and all that stuff. So I feel like it warrants time. So that's why I'm like, I don't doubt that there's a game coming out for Star Fox or Firefox, like I call it. I just don't think it's gonna drop today. It's gonna show up today and drop in 8 weeks. You know what I mean? It's not enough time for that game to have its proper spotlight. Now, I said if it was this one, right, Paul? If it was this particular game that we're looking at right now, Star Fox Zero from the Wii U, a port, just like you mentioned, Metroid Prime Remaster, that's a remaster, right? That's a port that can have a shorter release window. Normally, Nintendo sometimes they shadow drop on directs, ports and releases like that. But when it comes to brand new titles, they have their release window. They have their time. And so if we were to get a Star Fox in June, my money is on Star Fox. It's Star Fox Zero from the Wii U with some quality of life improvements for the Nintendo Switch and a whole bunch of other really cool stuff added to it. Nate, still credible source. I'm going to continue to report on Nate the Hate. I mean, he's a good, respectful person. As I've spoken to him behind the scenes. He's cool, and so I mean, next podcast, we are all in agreement when it comes to Nate the Hate and his credibility. Of course, this is a one. Again, we still have to wait for the Star Fox game to be revealed, and so on. Anything you guys want to add when it comes to leaks? Oh wait, I have one more question. And I think I've seen this done not by PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, but by developers. Do you think it would help if Nintendo, for example, said, "Hey, we have a brand new Mario game in development. Don't expect it soon, but just letting you know. Just letting you know this game is in development." They did something like that with Tears of the Kingdom, right? Tears of the Kingdom, when they announced Tears of the Kingdom, they announced it years in advance.
Oh yeah, so now in development. That's when it was just called the sequel to Breath of the Wild. It didn't even have a name yet.
Exactly. So do you think that would help Nintendo when it comes to leaks, if they were to take that route, at least for their major titles, Mario, Zelda? We could add Splatoon to it because big name now. Would that help saying, "Hey, we have this game in development. We'll tell you more in the future, and then just take that, just drip feed information like they did with the Zelda. I mean, that kept a lot of content creators alive with speculation and videos and a whole bunch of other stuff. It kept us happy. I was excited for Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild sequel. You know, what do you got? What do you guys think? And we can use that as the last thoughts of the podcast. What do you guys think?
Okay, so because I've seen it work again with Tears of the Kingdom, and we've seen it not work so well with Metroid Prime 4, which of course was no one's fault, you know, or anything like that. Yes. Things happen. So it's nothing to be angry about. But what I mean is, I would prefer, because we already know they're working on 3D Mario. We already know they're working on the next big Zelda. If you don't know that, then go touch grass or something, because that's exactly what's happening. But I would rather them tell us about it once they got to a solid point or a point of almost no return on the game. You know, don't tell us when you're still phasing it out, when you're still drawing treatments and rough drafts and you know, these kind of drawings versus those kind of drawings, you know, and what art style are we going to get, you know, figure all that out first, then drop it, you know, because that is going to keep us happy for a while. And then, you know, the littlest things when it comes to our Marios and our Zeldas, Pokemon too, I'm gonna throw them in there too. You know, the littlest things make us happy. So you tell us, you know, when you're about halfway through that, hey, we're working on a new Zelda. We got, you know, it might, don't tell us what year it's coming out. Just tell us you're working on it. And then as you start polishing it off and everything, then, you know, then maybe get into dates and time and show us a little bit of a teaser and things like that. Because it's not that the long terms hurt. I think that long terms can still work, but don't necessarily tell us too early. You see what I mean? Otherwise we could have a Metroid situation. What if you get, you know, 2 years into making the next Zelda and you guys are like, this is all wrong. We're creative people, all three of us. So we know what that's like. You write a rough draft or you do some kind of project and it's like, this is all wrong. I'm starting over from scratch. Or is that just me? Okay, well, I do that sometimes. So, you know, and now they're 2 years in. We're thinking the new Zelda is 2 years finished and it probably should be another year or so or something like that. And it's not. So I think start putting it out there once you know that, you know, this is probably our end goal around this time when you can really narrow it down. That's just my opinion though.
Yeah. I agree. What do you think, Paul?
I think that on the first thing, if there were, even if Nintendo did give a nugget, there would still be leaks because some people would still try to find a way, right? Because people are nosy. People like to look. People want to know more. But could at least Nintendo get on it and be the ones to have whatever news they want on it out there ahead of time? And could that be helpful? Yeah. And that could possibly help with the masses because don't forget, it's not like the whole install base of 157 million Nintendo Switch owners are online and knows who any of us are or any of this leak conversation. You know what I mean? Like, no. It's the glued in several 100,000, couple million at most people that are like really the ones that are glued in. So it's a small percentage. But what if, you know, Nintendo back in the day, when Nintendo 64 came out, they had on the box several games all coming out within the next couple of years. They advertised the logo and a picture of the game in-game footage on the back of the box. So what would the modern day equivalent be? It would be in development for Nintendo Switch 2 on their website, on their X handle, on their Instagram, their YouTube page, etc. The Legend of Zelda, and then the title cleverly blurred out. Super Mario for Nintendo Switch 2, or the logo cleverly blurred out. Star Fox. Maybe not everything, but saying games in active development. And they would have something like not everything, so there would still be some surprises. So here you look at this page on the different social media handles and like, that's pretty cool. But when this direct happens, or this mini direct or whatever, you're like, whoa, we're getting a new Punch Out? That wasn't on your guys' spread. Dude, you said that there was a new tentative Mario title, a new Donkey Kong in active development, a new Star Fox game, but you never said Punch Out. This is a Punch Out? So Nintendo could still have the excitement, the shock and awe, but maybe they could do a little bit of goodwill to their fans to ease some people, which would also perhaps in turn help boost up some sales, because not that they have a problem with the sales, but it'd be like, I'm not buying the system until we get a new Smash Bros. Game. Well, with some key titles, new Smash Bros. In active development. But then again, there might be someone, like, even though that's a good idea, I think, a fine idea, you could still find, so I will play the opposite role. You could say, the bad is someone out there would interpret it that as, that's all they have? 5 games? That's it? That's all they have on the horizon? Yep, told you. Because they would see it wrong. And then they would see it as not, this is a small batch of what they have. They would see it as the all. Or, nope, what I want isn't on there. Boycotting. No, because it's only a small sample. So you could find a good idea like that that sounds fairly sound, still wouldn't satisfy everyone. So I don't know. I think that the way that they're doing it now is fine. But yeah, it would be nice to get a little bit of a glimpse.
Just dangle a little carrot.
I mean, in a way, the directs are the carrots. The directs are it, but people just want more. People just want more. So but like, there's such a company that thrives on shocking and delighting consumers with unexpected things and announcements when they want to do it. You could adjust a little bit for the times while still holding true to what makes you unique as a publisher. But something like that might be the way to do it, of like hey, we give you all a lot of nuggets already, but I guess we have to evolve a little bit. So we're still going to do the nuggets the way we want it, but we'll give you a few this way. But you'll also have some folks, when are they going to... Also, here's the problem, though. So I came up with another problem to my possible solution. What happens when this tentative thing, now in development, what happens when that one isn't at the next direct? Come on. You've been showing this thing for the last 7 months, new 3D Mario, now in development, with the logo blurred out of what the subtitle is, and it's still on this direct? Come on. I don't care about this new thing you showed me. I want that one. Man, you'll never satisfy freaking and everybody out there. Never. But I would look at it as like, sweet. I already know that the Mario's on the way. Cool. You didn't show the new Mario now? That's fine. I'm excited knowing that one is coming. What else do you have? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's always going to be an opposition. Yeah, go ahead, Joycie.
Okay, so like on the lowest of keys, I really wish Nintendo would kind of play into this, because the people who are watching like the directs and everything are a lot of the hardcore fans and the people who follow everything online and things like that. And these Nate the Hate did kind of shake things up a little bit, regardless of if you believe or not. And I would really love for Nintendo if they do have these games, in the mix and ready to go. I kind of hope they're like, okay, well, according to the leaks, we're releasing a new Star Fox. I'm sorry we couldn't surprise you, but here's a trailer anyway. I would kind of like to watch them lean into it. Like we see
for real.
What they should do is, thanks to the leaks, we are no longer releasing the game.
That'll be great.
And then put a release date like 2 seconds later.
Oh. That'd be funny.
That'll be the best trolling. The best trolling ever. That's awesome. What? That's awesome. Anyway. I agree with Paul. Agree with Joycie. As always. Thank you guys for sharing.
We have this great game, but you can't play it.
Can't play.
Wait a minute, Paul. Paul, to kind of build on your idea. Wait, just real quick, Mike. I'm sorry. Yeah. Paul, to build on your idea. Yeah, so they're going to show us the whole trailer and says, you can't play this game ever.
They could have a tree house of them playing it, like nana nana boo boo.
Oh my god.
You can't play it.
This game goes back in the vault forever.
Oh.
My goodness. We should do a parody treehouse. then do that and do exactly that. Hey, this game was gonna come out, but since you guys went with the leak, no longer coming out. We'll play it on ourselves. Look, you could have got that.
And we still have to give it the full rundown. Join Mario in this new platformer that you will never ever see. A whole script around it. I want that now.
And this special edition controller that you will never hold in your hand.
Mm-hmm. That is a good one, Mike. When we come out,
all right. Any last words or remarks, or what did we come up with for the last part of the podcast?
Curtain call.
I forgot already. Curtain call. End credits.
We'll call it curtain call. That's all we got for right now.
Curtain call.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Paul. What's up? What do you got going on? Any last remarks? Any last words?
Well, I am over on YouTube, X, TikTok at Paul Gale Network, putting up gaming history shorts every day, which is pretty fun. Have a couple of countdowns as well, also pretty entertaining, I think. Punching rattlesnakes left and right, Also, I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in the beginning of the in the beginning of the podcast. I said I put up my part 2 to my voice acting through a drive-through. First was Mario through a McDonald's, and then yesterday was Arnold Schwarzenegger through an In-N-Out. And what's next? I don't know.
Give me a little bit of Arnold. I need to hear that because I didn't see the video.
A little bit. Give me a little.
Yeah, so yesterday I was driving through the In-N-Out, and I saw the person. His name was Joshua, and I said, "Joshua, yeah, watch out, get to the chopper." Yeah, okay. So I need a double. I need extra grilled onions, and those little baby pepperoncinis. Yeah, throw the pepperoncinis in there. They're fantastic. Yeah. By the way, do you weightlift? Wow. Yeah, your arms are so big, and that's coming from a former Mr. Olympia. Yeah. So, and I just made them laugh and smile, and it was pretty cool. There was someone at the front, someone in the middle, and then 2 ladies and a guy at the end. So there was I guess 5 employees that had a little chuckle. So it was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Probably Wario is going to come next, or one of them in the future. And a Yoda, and there's some other ones. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I've got going on, and that's where I'm at, and that'll do for now.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Thank you for giving us the demonstration. Go check out the full video on Paul Gale Network's channel. The drive-through voiceover Paul now. Call him. Thank you, Dream. A little more with the 10 gifted to the channel. Dream, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. You guys, you know how thankful I am to all of you for your support. Dream, thank you for the 10 gifted, and also welcome. I see a lot of new members. Thanks for Dreams gifted. Enjoy all the perks. There's more coming tomorrow. I'm filming the new video for members on the unboxing of this product that you can only find in Japan, not available in the US, will not be available in the US, and is only for members. I'll be shooting it tomorrow, and maybe polishing it too. So thank you so much, and look forward to that. Once again, thank you, Dream, for the 10 gifted. All right, Joycie, any last words?
Follow me on Twitter. I refuse to call it anything else. It's Twitter. Okay, it's Twitter at DJ Joycie. At DJ Joycie. I apologize. I am terrible at posting these days. I don't post the way I used to. But if you have some Zelda fun questions or things you want to ask me or talk to me about, just at me.
All right. Thank you, Joycie. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Paul, being here every single Friday on the Nintopics podcast. Guys, don't we have the best crew ever? Paul, Joycie, here at the Odyssey at Nintopics. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. Hope you guys enjoy it every single Friday. I want to do something for everyone, just because, of course, during this transition to the new studio, I haven't been live streaming. So I'm proposing right now that I will. This is how I can make it up to you guys. Nintopics Extra Crispy, which is a Nintopics live stream that will start right after the podcast moving forward. Dumb name. I just came up with it. Nintopics After Hours, but that just sounds too adult. Something.
Crispy, I don't know.
Power Up Plus or whatever. Extra crispy.
We got to work with Extra Crispy. I don't know, but I can dig it.
Starting out with the drumstick with the whole. So yeah, from now on, not today because I just made it up just now. This is off the top of my head. Starting next Friday, Nintopics After Dark. I mean, it's already dark. I mean, unless you live in where Paul is, it's still daylight. Yeah, we'll have once the podcast ends, I'll continue the live stream for about an hour, additional hour. Joycie and Paul, if you are available, you are welcome to join and talk with us. I know Paul has to go soon and spend time with his beautiful family, right? Give time to his kids and stuff like that. But whenever he's available, he can join us too. And we'll just have fun. It will be non-scripted. You guys will have the lead and we'll just have a whole bunch of fun. We can play games, whatever, but it's something that I can do for you guys. Well, at least until I get to the studio, and we can have a little more time with the chat, after. So Nintopics Extra Crispy. I guess that's the name.
Do I have to watch my language?
Next. Not so much. Not so much, but also there's also the limit of a call of Okay,
yeah. Wait. So PG-13.
Yeah. Then
so I could probably get away with one word
PG-13, yeah.
per Extra Crispy episode.
You could say
maybe what darn darn you can use the Ned Flanders like
Oakley dokley. Dum dum diddery.
Well, yeah, Nintopics. I think you guys like Extra Crispy, so Extra Crispy is gonna be. I see a lot of hashtags Extra Crispy. Nintopics Extra Crispy. Stay tuned next Friday night. After the Nintopics podcast ends, we will be having the Extra Crispy episode of Nintopics. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you. We thank you. And we appreciate you for being here. All 100 of you all throughout social media. And we'll see you guys in the next adventure here at the Odyssey. But before we let you go, we got two things we got to let you know. There's two things, two very important things. Okay, two things. You guys reminded me about this today, and I appreciate you. Number one, don't do it.
Never give up.
Never give up. Don't give up. And number two, journey on. The journey continues as Paul flies away with his with this really cool shirt. By the way, I need to find out where that shirt is sold because I like it already.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care. See you guys in the next one. Journey on. Evil
Night, guys.
Evil Ryu, right? Evil Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. Take care. Take care.
Nintopic Podcast, all things Nintendo.